What's good, my good people of the internet? Welcome to the very first episode of the Kickback. I'm your host, KaioMyKen, aka KaioKenny, aka Kenny Hardaway. You may know me as just, plain old Ken. We all Ken folk like that. All my friends call me Ken. You can call me. Today is Sunday, March 27th. It's a beautiful day outside. Sun is shining. Dogs is barking. Birds is chirping. The rumbling is happening. Man, it's crazy outside. Looking forward to it. I don't know if any of y'all seen that new ALT episode yet, but get on that. But anywho, moving on, I did want to start out with sports today. So our first topic of the day is going to be on sports. If you follow the NFL, some of you may be familiar with the biggest headline this offseason. Miami Dolphins acquired Tyreek Hill, aka the Cheetah, from the Kansas City Chiefs. The Dolphins completed the deal by exchanging 5 draft picks for the 20-year-old receiver. But at the same time, I'm not too worried about the picks. I mean, when you look at our position in the draft and the capital it required to get them, on top of how much it really cost us against our cap, we really not pressed for much. We really won the deal. Because we still got a third rounder, and obviously third rounder's not the best, but I mean, Russell Wilson got drafted in the third round. I'm not saying we're gonna find a Russell Wilson, but I'm hoping we can find a piece to bolster or to finish up our adjustments on our offense, and maybe we can do something like that. This also means that a lot of niggas are hating on Tua, but I mean, obviously it's not nothing I'm not used to seeing, but it's clear as day that these haters are folks who probably either aren't real fans of football, or one, I know for sure they're not fans of the Dolphins, and for two, I know they're not real football fans. A lot of them saying the same rhetoric or using the same old tired jokes. You can't throw the ball deep. You can't do this. You can't do that. I think it's stupid. I think it's silly, and it's really hard to try and reason with these people when you're trying to have a conversation about football. Primarily because, let's be honest, in my opinion, at least, Tua Man proved himself that he's a capable quarterback. We went 1-7, obviously, first half. 4 of those games aren't totally his fault. I mean, he was out for one of them. I mean, he went out week 3 because of the line, which was the problem all season. Clearly, they tightened it up towards the end, but imagine where we could have been if we got that together in the beginning. As a diehard Dolphin fan, it really did hurt me to see that, but I was really excited when we went on the 7-0 win streak, but it got snapped by fucking Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee. Curse you, Tannehill. Still keeping us out of the playoffs. But anywho, in my opinion, though, I think it's gonna be a great season. Tua can get W's on the board, regardless of what anybody says. Tua gets W's on the board. And now that we've got Tyreek Hill, we've got a revamped offense. We got Cedric Wilson, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill. Still got Jalen Waddle. Barring any injuries, major injuries. Oh, not even to mention Mike Gesicki, Big G. So barring any potential injuries, God, I pray that there are none. But we're in a great position to take a storm in the AFC. Like, nobody's made big moves like us. Like, yes, they've made these moves, but none of them have been like impactful to their team as much. For example, like the Chargers acquiring Von Miller, the Bills acquiring Von Miller, which was it's to me. But the Chargers acquiring Khalil Mack actually probably was was a sleeper, in my opinion. That was a real sleeper pickup that I don't think anybody really understands the magnitude of that pick. Khalil Mack is a sack machine. So obviously TJ Watt has been in the headlines a lot more, but when you think about it, Khalil Mack plays for the Bears. One, they're predominantly a defensive team, so they always pretty much pick good when it comes to finding that talent. But it's gonna be a crazy season. I want to give a big shout out to Chris Greer, the GM of the Dolphins, because I mean, these are amazing acquisitions he's made. to get to in a spot, for him to succeed. I'm seeing an offensive player of the year, maybe a most improved, or shit. Hey, Tyreek Hill said he probably the most accurate quarterback in the league. So might be MVP. I'm just saying. Don't, I'm just saying. Speaking of MVPs, LeBron actually just hit big on the big screen. I think many of us know LeBron for being a record shatterer on the court. He's also a great humanitarian off the court with the I Promise School and his many different charities that he donates to and works with. But now I think he can finally add to his resume that Michael Jordan never could. Award-winning actor. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron has secured his very first award for acting via Razzie Awards. He received this award for the blunder that was Space Jam: A New Legacy. For those of you who don't know, the Razzie Awards highlights the underachievers in cinematography, pretty much making fun of all the bad movies that come out, over time. And regardless, no matter how you spin it, Space Jam was really a bad movie all around. And it showed when they got nominated for 4 Razzie Awards. Space Jam brought home 3 of the 4 for Worst Actor, Worst Screen Combo, and Worst Sequel, Prequel, or Spinoff. But truth be told, ain't really much to write home about. Honestly, with these Razzie Awards, it's kind of like it's all in good fun. I think it's just a way to poke at Bron. It'll be alright. I do look forward to seeing him in future movies, though. I think he can do something. Personally, I think he can do something. I don't know what yet, but I think he'll find his role someday. Not in the Marvel movie. That just wouldn't make not a lick of sense. But moving on to the game, we're gonna go on a little bit to our gaming section. Now that we're talking about spin-offs, Sony is just announced the spin-off of their version of the Xbox Game Pass is actually going to be going live this week. Last year they announced that they were working on some form of Game Pass that would combine both their PlayStation Plus service as well as PlayStation Now, which is their game streaming service. My whole thing about this, though, is, truth be told, Sony has an extensive library, lots and lots of games with a lot of awards for those games. But I think getting to play those games has been harder and harder as the years continuously go by. Xbox addressed the issue as far as backwards compatibility goes back in, I want to say that was 2014, 2015. But we look at us now. We've got plenty of games on Xbox. Xbox is having troubles. Yeah, you got your catalog now, but they also bolstered the subscription price for the day one title they get. So a lot of people are gravitating towards that. So with Sony announcing their Game Pass, it does leave a lot of questions about what can they do differently that sets them apart and makes this a marketable offering. I think one of the things they can do, obviously, I think the biggest thing they can do, they're an entertainment company. So I'm pretty sure they can partner with someone. Paramount, that'll probably be a little more different. As an entertainment company, I'm pretty sure they can partner with some kind of company to offer a bundle to make it a little bit more worthwhile for players. Not only that, what games are going to be offered? We haven't really heard much news about what's going to be coming with the Sony Game Pass. Most we know is, again, PlayStation Now. Does that also include future PlayStation 5 and, well, they're not making any more PlayStation 4s. Does that include they are, but until they stop. Does that mean they're going to include day one titles like Xbox did for their exclusive? Because if they do, okay, that puts them in a position and that edges them out, because as we all know, PlayStation does put out a lot more games compared to Xbox as far as exclusives. So if those exclusives are made readily available day one, they edge out Xbox. And that second thing I feel like they should address with Game Pass is, even if you're charging folks, it's better than nothing. And bringing that backwards compatibility for those games make a word of a difference in getting exclusive. They already make a shit ton of money from PlayStation Plus. So, and digital sales. If they were able to find a way to acquire and get the source code for a lot of the games that are no longer played or are considered retro titles, I think it'll do a lot in the sense of, again, making the money, because that's pretty much what it is. They need to stay. They're trying to stay competitive. Xbox isn't much competition. Really, honestly, truthfully, I think their biggest competition probably is going to be with Nintendo more than anybody. But I mean, Nintendo can do very literally whatever they want, and most people are going to abide by it anyway. I mean, what are you going to do? Not play the new Mario, or not play Smash, or something's going to come out that nobody's not going to play. Like the new Kirby actually just came out. Haven't even got around to playing it, but I'm going to play it. I've played a Kirby game since I was like, what, 11, 10 or 11. So, looking forward to that. I'm hoping for good things to come of it though. But again, I think the best way they could go about this is offering some backwards compatibility titles and those day one exclusives to keep them competitive and to get those sales that they're gonna need. Yeah, so those are I think that's probably one of the bigger things coming out this upcoming week. Also want to highlight some games to look out for in April. If you're curious, looking for something new to play, or something that's probably coming out soon, I want to say there's a couple titles I might recommend for you. Excuse me. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga actually comes out this month. It's been delayed to hell since I want to say 2020 or late 2019. It's been delayed. And I know some of y'all might be thinking, like, the hell do you mean Lego Star Wars? Why are we talking about Legos for kids? Now, hear me out, right? Lego games are actually pretty fun to play. I still play them to this day. This particular title, though, is probably the one that will change your opinion on Lego game. It is really well done. For one, just to highlight it, it's the biggest one to me, in my opinion. They have full voice acting. Now I know we talk about voice acting like it's supposed to be normal, like it's a regular thing. You'll be surprised how many games even today, like Nintendo, for example, Nintendo games, a lot of Nintendo games aren't even fully voice acted. So for a Lego Star Wars game to be fully voice acted, that's huge with the Lego games. They've also added a lot of new features to their combat, like a parrying system, third-person precision aiming, which makes it look like, it almost turns it into like not really a mini game, but it gives you, it's more, it feels like a shooter. Like your character's gonna feel like it's gonna play, the character you're playing at least, it's gonna feel like you're playing a shooter as opposed to just shooting. Combat itself also has been completely revamped with combo. There's actual combos you can execute in the Lego Star Wars game. So looking forward to seeing that. You might catch it on a channel, might be a let's play, or it might be you might catch it on stream. Not really sure yet. But be on the lookout for Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, releasing April 5th. Damn, boy, need. Ooh. I can only drink so much. Next up, we got MLB The Show 2022. Now, I'm a sports fan. Y'all know this. But I cannot sit through a baseball game to save my life. If you put a gun to my head, you might as well just pull the trigger, because I'm not going to sit there and watch the baseball game. Watching a baseball game just makes me think of a horribly paced movie like The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Not to say the movies are bad, just they're really badly paced. I don't think it's going to be the case with the simulation baseball. I'm actually into those type of games. I played many of them in the past. A lot of them are just like kind of rip-offs, or like not really parodies, but like games I played that aren't really licensed with the MLB. So I'm really looking forward to what the show is bringing. The show originally was a PlayStation exclusive, but since 2020, since 2020, they have been on the Xbox as well as PC. So looking forward to that when it comes out on April 1st. And if you want to check out some gameplay of the game, if you want to check it out and see what it's like for yourself, you can go ahead and do so by checking me out on twitch.tv/KaioMyKen. Again, that's twitch.tv/KaioMyKen. Shameless plug, not afraid. If you got a problem, too bad. Anyway, last but certainly not the least, we've got Nintendo Switch Sports. the successor that we all know and love to our beloved Wii Sports. Now, I know y'all remember Wii Sports, the bitch ass bald head man in boxing that used to dog us every chance he got, or all the times you threw your shoulder out or broke the TV, or all the videos we seen of people breaking TVs with the Wii remote from playing bowling. Wait, you forgot about Wii Sports. That was pretty fun. Shut your bitch ass up. Anyway, I'm actually surprised it took Nintendo 5 years since the Switch first dropped to make the sports game. Like, because like when you think about it, like Wii Sports came out, it came with the Wii actually. So that's interesting. I wish they would have made it. I wish it was a free to play game though. I feel like they really could have made really good use of the subscription to as far as free games go. I don't think they offer free games of the month because they do the retro console thing or whatever. But adding this to as like a free game or that you have if you were subscribed to Nintendo Switch online, I think it'd have been nice. But some of the things that have changed, not much. Pretty much the same old Nintendo Switch Sports. I will say they have omitted boxing and baseball. So no, you won't get to fight the big head ball man, unfortunately, or play baseball. I'm kind of not too sad about those. I was really good at those games, so they were the ones I was best at. But they have replaced those games with badminton, volleyball, and I believe this is Kambara or Chambara. Not really sure how you pronounce that, but it essentially is just sword play. Bowling and tennis are also going to be making a return for this title with their own little twists to them and their own game modes. Golf is also going to be available, but that actually won't come until a later update post-launch. Nintendo Switch Sports will be available on April 29th, 2022, obviously. Now we're going to switch gears again on over to our anime section. Not a lot I really wanted to say here about anime, but I felt like I should still include it. But primarily because it's something I love, it's something I'm passionate about, and I think a lot of you all would enjoy hearing my reviews, or just getting to know what I'm into as far as anime goes, or just teaching y'all about myself. Growing up, man, anime was like my thing. I never really had any story. I don't really have any stories, excuse me. I don't really have any of those traumatic stories or anything about liking anime, like getting bullied for liking anime. I got bullied for other shit, like being short, fat. So for me, I'm not so for me, anime is kind of like my escape. It's something I've always enjoyed. For me though, as of now, like as an adult, I'm not super heavy on the shonen. I mean, you obviously wouldn't be able to tell because look, my name's KaioMyKen. I named myself after a super move and fucking Dragon Ball. So, well, can you blame me though? I'm not, like I said though, I'm not super heavy on the shonen like I was. I still indulge on occasion. And not a lot of shonen have really caught my eye though. Like I kind of dropped Black Clover before I really even gave it a chance. Demon Slayer is kind of to me. My Hero, I'm still on season 3. No, I'm still on season 4. For the first half, I'm not even finished with the infiltration of season 4. So, with that, I watch a lot of slice. I'm more so in slice of life, romances, comedies, the occasional isekai, as long as it's good. I think we're getting an unnecessary amount of isekai these days. Kind of crazy. Some of the anime I have been watching that I would recommend some of y'all check out. One of these is considered not probably a shonen, probably 2 of them. But it's still worth a watch. I think they're really great shows. I haven't finished all of them, but I do know when I finish them, I do plan on leaving a review for each of y'all, just to check it out and get y'all idea and pick my brain a little bit on what I think of these shows. 3 of the shows I've been watching include Odd Taxi, My Dress Up Darling, Bottom Tier Character Tomazaki, Ranking of Kings, and The Case Study of Vanitas. So I'll have a review of those, like I said, coming soon. I'm not sure if I'll add them in these episodes of this podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call it, or if I'll do a separate video. If I do a separate video, it probably won't be any longer than maybe 10-15 minutes of just me talking about the episodes and whatnot, and what went on and what I enjoyed the most, or really what I enjoyed the most about the series, not really the episode. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Speaking of being on the lookout, though, I have been on the lookout for some new music for a little while now. Recently, I had a good friend of mine. He dropped his first EP, Capsule. You can find it on all listening platforms by Cook Crack. That is Cook Crack, the Capsule, Capsule 1 on all listening platforms. So if you don't know me, though, you come to know I am a big fan of music. It doesn't matter what the genre is, be it hip hop, funk, rock, pop, metal, K-pop. I really listen to it all. But for a while, I was looking for a nice sound to add to my music library, something with a little, funky little soul, you know what I mean? But I never thought I'd get it from an artist that goes by Larry June. I recently got put on to him by a homegirl of mine who introduced me to the Orange Prayer album. It was a pretty solid front to back album. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't really have a lot of front to back albums even in my catalog for me to listen to regularly, but I was really impressed by dude. Larry June and London Drugs, actually, they just dropped an album on Friday. It's called Two Peas in a Pod. It was an alright album. I was kind of iffy for it. My first playthrough, I had to really sit down and like what was being said and kind of like catch on some of the bars. The vibe is there. It was kind of the lyrics was throwing me off a little bit. But yeah, after a second, then a third playthrough, it's a real groovy. It's a real groovy tape. I'm not gonna hold you. It's giving like old school. You know what I'm saying? And when I say like the production, it's like not like SWV, Tupac. It's more like motherfucking Sugar Hill Gang, them type of beats. And I know it sounds crazy, but the way Larry June got this, the way his flow work, it kind of just it fits. Like I don't know how you do that. So if you want, make sure you get that album listen to, and also make sure you get the Capsule to listen to. Both of those albums I have been listening to consistently. Also, you can check out the Orange Print if you like for Larry June. I like to give these little artists little shout outs, spotlights for a little while, just because if I'm really into you or if I'm really feeling your music, I would love to give it a listen. I would love to put it and introduce it to everybody else that I know. Also, if you're unfamiliar with T-Pain and Nappywood Radio and whatnot, T-Pain is currently hosting a March Music Madness over on his Twitch channel, twitch.tv. I believe the handle is Nappy Boy Gaming. Let me double check before I forget. Yeah, it is. It is Nappy Boy Gaming on twitch.tv. So be sure you give him a check him out over there for the Music March Madness. We got a couple folks here from St. Louis that are participating in the bracket and are vying for a shot for a chance to be signed to Nappy Boy Radio. So let's give it up to them. Are Nando STL, Retro Champ, and Blue. So again, I'm looking for Jocelyn. Sorry. I lost my train of thought again. Fuck. And I don't even know why y'all still listening. I've been talking for 23 minutes. Okay, no, let me stop. We're gonna wrap things up here really soon. I just got one more topic I want to discuss about, and it is Doja Cat decided she thinks she wants to quit music. I think that is kind of wild, seeing as how she's not a new artist anymore. She's kind of been on the scene for a little while now, but it's kind of crazy that to hear that somebody's is looking to probably give up on music. It comes from a recent spat she had down in South America. She had recently did a show for Brazil's Lollapalooza. If you go on Twitter, you kind of can see her bio. Her bio's changed a little bit, but for those of you who don't know, she had a performance down in Brazil for the Lollapalooza. And following the performance, she felt like she wasn't really feeling it. She felt like she didn't really put her all into it. She wasn't a fan. She wasn't fond of what she did on the stage. And I can respect any artist who can admit they had a bad performance. Sometimes they just want to get it over with because they already know it's probably not up to their standard. So to be critical of yourself, I kind of understand that, because that's how I am as a perfectionist. So I know what it's like. Also, that doesn't mean this. I probably will do one take of this every time and never do it again. I would do one take and move on. That aside, what happened in the situation was apparently, following that show, she was set to perform in Paraguay, but I guess something happened as far as flooding goes that canceled the show. But you know how they say when it rains it pours, and for some reason they felt the need to pour down on Doja Cat when they caught her outside her hotel. A lot of people were just trying to get them to do a little impromptu meet and greet, which I don't think anybody's entitled. I don't think anybody's entitled to a meet and greet and some pictures. A lot of the fans, a lot of the folks, they took to Twitter, got them Twitter fingers rolling. Kind of was just getting on Doja Cat's case about, how she doesn't care about South America and whatnot. And I think that's a bit of a reach. I don't think it necessarily means she doesn't like South America. I don't see a reason not to. But I mean, after this, I would definitely see a reason to not like South America. But not to say I don't like South America, but I just think, it's to behave this way is kind of wild, because we got to have a understanding of what celebrities are. I think people still are so star-studded, they lose insight and they lose the grip on reality that these are still regular everyday people. They wake up, they bleed the same, they go to the doctor the same. They all have this. They have the same issues. They have life problems. They problems might be just not, but Jesus Christ, they might not have the same problems as you. But everybody's going through their own shit, and sometimes you just kind of gotta give people their space, man. Everybody's entitled to that is something everybody's entitled to, personal space. And I think a lot of people forget that when it comes to the celebrities. As a fan of Doja Cat, my heart goes out to her. I hope she feels better. I hope she's getting better. I hope she doesn't step away from music for good. But if she does, I wish her the best in whatever endeavor she does choose to seek. And one of those endeavors was to hit my DMs at KaioMyKen.com. I mean, not comment, whatthefuck.com. I don't have a website. What the fuck? Anyway, just saying, Doja Cat, if you want to, trying to find a new endeavor to, indulge in, you can go ahead and slide in them DMs. So I'm just letting you know. Anywho, yeah, let me get the fuck off. Let me get out of this. Let me get out of here. Y'all, I don't even know why y'all do this.